මම කාංචනා නදීශානි. මම සාමාන්‍ය පෙළින් පස්සේ AAT පාඨමාලාව කළා. මම AAT පාඨමාලාවෙන් දිවයිනේ ප්‍රථම ස්ථානය ලබා ගත්තා. මගේ හීනය කළමනාකරන ගණකාධිකාරීවරයෙක් වීම. මම ඒ සඳහා CMA පාඨමාලාව තෝරගත්තා. නංගිල මල්ලටත් ආරාධනා කරනවා ඔයාලගේ වෘත්තීය ජීවිතේ ජය ගන්න CMA එක අත්වැල් බඳගන්න කියලා.
ලෝහ පිළිගත් කළමනාකරණ ගණකාධිකාරීවරයෙකු වීමට පාර්ලිමේන්තු පන්තින් සංස්ථාපනය කරන ලද ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ එකම කළමනාකරණ ගණකාධිකාරී ආයතනය CMA Sri Lanka.
Ayubowan. Today we are going to discuss about the topic of information system, which is in the advanced level business studies grade 3 syllabus. With that, we will move to the definition of the information system. So before we move into the definition of the information systems, first we will look at what is data and information, because data and information is the main component of an information system. The whole information system consists with the data, the concept of data and information. So it is very important for you to understand what is data and what is information. First, we will look at what is data. Data is basic facts and numbers generated by various events that take place in the environment or in the organization and by business transactions are known as data. So now you can see how this data is going to be generated. So data is basic facts and numbers. If you take any fact or any number, it is called data. Like the name of the salary of an employee. So in an organization there are employees. So in the salary slip the name is printed. So the name is just a fact. So that is called data. And the time that a transaction took place and its value. If an organization, any transaction happened, the value of the transaction is data, and the time of that transaction is also a data. And also the monthly electricity bill. In your home you will get electricity bill. So the value of the electricity bill will be a data. So the facts and the numbers generated by various events. So in order to generate this data, or in order to have this data, we have to have events. If some events happen, then a lot of data will be generated that take place in the environment or in the organization. So these events can be happen within the organization or in the external environment. So the events that are happening in the internal environment or in the external environment can create data by business and by business transactions. So within the organization, mainly through the transaction or through the business transactions, data are generated. So you can see the examples of this. And we will see the types of data now. So what are the types of data? You can see pictorial data, that is pictures or the photographs. So if you take a photograph, that will be an event, so it's just a data. Numerical data, prices of goods or the value of the goods. Audio data, recorded consumer ideas. So if the organization wants to get the feedback of the customers, they can record this their feedback. So that is called audio data. And visual data, the data that we can see. So the boards that show the prices. So the visualization is there rather than numbers. So that is called visual data. So there are many types of data, mainly 4 types, and this is about data. Now we will move to the information. So that is very important here. What is information? Information is the process data which is understandable and is called information. So information is process data. That is, if you take data, it is just facts and numbers. So you cannot get any understanding or meaning by looking at the data. Therefore, data should be processed in order to get a meaningful understanding. When the data is processed, we call it information. Example, net profit ratio of a business. Now in organizations, we know there are many ratios that we are going to calculate. In your accountancy subject also, you are going to calculate many ratios. So the ratio is getting after calculating of the data, or the data is processed. When the data is processed, you will get some ratio. So that is called, by looking at that ratio, the managers or the organization can take decisions. Sales cost of a unit. If you take a particular unit of a product, then if you calculate the cost will not fact. In order to get the cost, you have to have a calculation. You have to add all the costs together. Then it will take, we are telling that as an information. Annual total electricity bill. If the electricity bill for the month, a particular month, it will be just a fact. But if you add all the electricity bills, all the values of the 12 months, it will call annual total electricity bill. Then you can get some understanding how much electricity that we are going to consume in the next year, and you can compare that data with the previous year, right? So that is called an information, because you have to add you have to add all together. Total production units. If a production unit for a particular day will not give any meaning, but if you add all the units that for a particular month or semi-annual or annual, then it will give some meaningful information. So now you can understand information is process data. Right. Now we are going to look at what is the difference between data and information. Here you can see data. Data is an input. Okay, data is an input, that is we are getting something. Okay, we are getting something. And what is information? After we process our data, we get information. So data is input, and the output that we are getting after processing data is called information. Second one, data cannot be used directly for decision making. So if you take data, as I told you earlier, without processing data, we cannot take it for the decision making. So by looking at just numbers and figures, we cannot get any understanding or meaning or decision. That's why we say data cannot use for the decision making. But information you can. If you get the net profit ratio, then we can have some understanding. So based on the ratio, we can get some decision making. So information can be used directly to make decisions. So that's why in organization, in businesses, the managers, they need information. They need not data, but they need information, because they have to take decisions. Third one, data are no value until they are in the form of data. Data doesn't have any value, because by their nature they cannot get, we cannot get any meaning. But the information has some value. If you get the ratios, if you get the total cost, it has some value, because we can make decision. We can act on based on the information we got. Right? So now you can understand the difference between data and information. With that, we will move to the conversation process. That is how the data is going to process and make an information. You can see data as an input, it will come to the process or to the system, and you can see the information will be generated. So in order to generate the information, you can see the data will be classified. That is, we can categorize data based on the geographical region, based on the age, based on the gender, we can categorize data. Sorting, we can sort data to a particular order, maybe ascending order, maybe descending order, we can sort. Sorry. Calculating. What is calculating? That is, we can use addition, subtraction, multiplication and division in order to take some meaningful information. Summarizing, that is, we can summarize data by generating some reports. We can summarize lot of data into one particular report. So those are the processing activities that we are going to do in order to convert data into information. Right. So with that, we will look at the characteristics of a good information. So if you get an information, these characteristics should be there if the manager wants to get a decision. Descriptive, that is, it should be in detail. Even though it is in summarized form, we should get every detail. Accuracy, data should be accurate. Data should have the correctness of it. Okay, it should not false data. Flexible, if we need any data or information, we should get it as at the time we want. So the flexibility should be there. And timely, we do not use any outdated information for the decision making. Data should be real time and it should be very timely. Readily available. If you need any data, it should be readily available to get. Or if you need any information, it should be readily available. Thriftiness, that is, you should develop information with very careful consideration. Okay, so that is a must in the when generating information. Otherwise, your data should not or your data will not accurate. And comparable, like I said you earlier, you can compare the information from earlier year or in previous year. So the comparability should be there. And understandable, when you take any piece of information, it should be understandable to you. It should give some meaning. And relevancy, we should use information for only we use the relevant information for the decision making. Irrelevant information we do not need for the decision making. Reliable, it should be from the reliable source. The data should be reliable, otherwise you cannot make a decision. Completeness, like I told you earlier, it should be descriptive and all the data or all the information should be there, or the facts should be there, completeness should be there. Right. With that, we will move to the information systems. Now we come to the definition of the information systems and what is an information system, and we are going to talk about other types of information systems in very detail. Right. So what is a system? Actually, in your ordinary level science subject, you may come across many systems. Okay. If you take your body, we have our nerve system. If you take our environment, we have solar system, the ecosystem or the ecological system. And so likewise, we know there are many systems even within the organization or within the particular organization and outside the organization in the environment also. So what do you mean by a system? System is an integration number of segments working together with a mutual relationship to achieve certain goal or an objective is known as a system. So what is a system? System is an integration of number of segments or the components. Information system have several components. Okay? So these components, the other thing is the components, what is the objective? They are working together. They should work together. If the one component is not aligned with the other components, then we are not getting or we do not get any the required information that we want or the required objectives that we want. We cannot achieve them. So the working together with a mutual relationship, they should have a mutual relationship between each of the components. There should be a very good understanding to achieve a certain goal or objective. So why all these components are working together? To achieve a particular objective. is known as a system. So, system has some components. So, these components should work together in mutual understanding to achieve some specific objective or objectives. So, that is called a system. What do you mean by then information system? So, information system within the organization, we get lot of information systems. Thus, information system is a set of components. So, it also have some components with interrelation engaged. So, they have a interrelationship between these components. For what? For collecting, processing, storing and delivering of information. So, that is their objective. Okay, that is their activities rather, for collecting, processing, storing and delivering information that are necessary for decision making and controlling of a, so that is the objective of the information system. Information systems are there to make information for the decision making. In order to make them for the decision making or to give information as the decision making, the activities that the functions that the systems will do: collecting, processing, storing and delivering information. So, it is very important for you to understand this concept, the definition of the information system, and it will align with the normal system theory. Right. With that, we will move to the functions of an information system. So, this is basically, this is what we are doing in an organization using information systems. You can see the input, we get input, we get data as input. Then it has some process, like I told you earlier, maybe classifying, maybe sorting, any other processing functions, and make it an output. So, this particular information system is within the organization. So, they will get information from the internal environment as well as external environment. Okay, the organizations will get information from internal organizations and external environment as the input. So, once they get the data, it will process and make an output as information. So, you can see in external environment we have customers, suppliers, shareholders, competitors and many more. In internal organization also we have employers, right. So, there are many components within the organization, and also in an information system there is a feedback as well. Okay, feedback as well. If the output needs some specific information to give to the input or even to the processing, they can do so, right. So, this is the functions of an information system. Right. Now, we will see what are the components of an information system. These are the components that you get in the information system. First one is hardware. What do you mean by hardware? Hardware is the physical items that we see in an information system. In an information system, you can see the computers, you can see the keyboard, you can see the printers, you can see the mouse. Okay, so those are the physical items where we can see and touch. Okay, so all the physical items that are in an information system we call hardware. What do you mean by software then? Software is all the programs that we use. Actually, those are non-physical, right, programs or softwares. If you take Microsoft Office, maybe Adobe Photoshop, those are computer software, so programs. So, that is called software. And the otherware that you know already, data and liveware. What do you mean by liveware? Those are the users of the information system. Even though you have hardware, software, data and all that, you cannot use an information system, or it does not give any information system if the liveware is not there. If the users are not there to get the required job done from the information systems, it is not an information system. So, users are a must or a main component of an information system. And procedures. So because of this liveware, because of these uses, in information system there should be procedures. That is, who is the authorized person in order to input data into the into the information system. After it generate information, or after information system generates the reports, to whom that this report should goes to. Okay, so those things should be in a written format. What are the regulations? So that is called procedures. Actually, we develop these procedures in order to minimize the conflicts in the information system, and also to ensure the security of the information system, right? Any misuse happen, then there are procedures and laws. What are the actions that we should take, right? So these procedures are there because of the users of the information systems, right? With that, we will move to the types of the information system. So that is this topic is very important, information system, or the types of the information systems. That is the main part of this information system. So you should thoroughly understand these types of information systems, right? So in information systems, or the types of the information systems, we classify information systems into 3 types, right? First classification is according to the level of usage, right? The first classification is according to the level of usage. Second classification is according to the usage. This is the level of the managerial level in the organization. This is based on the usage. And the third categorization is according to the managerial functions, or based on the departments, based on the functions of the organization. We will look at one by one now the classification. Okay? First one is according to the level of usage. So what do you mean by according to the level of usage? I will directly go to this particular picture and explain to you all. I think in business studies, in your management lecture, management topic actually, you have learned the levels of the organizations. Okay, what are the managerial levels of the organization? So at the bottom you will get operational level, and the the second level you will get management level, and the third level you will get strategic level. That's what you have learned in your management topic. Okay, in management perspective, we are talking about 3 levels: operational level, management level, and strategic level. But in information systems perspective, we take another level, that is called knowledge level. Okay, in information system perspective, we take, or we develop, or we include a particular level into this management triangle, that is called knowledge level. Okay, right. Now, if you can remember your management topic, you will remember that in operational level, we have operational managers, right? In management level, we have middle managers, and in strategic level, we have senior managers, right? So what is this new level? That is called knowledge level. You can see we have 2 types of workers. Those are knowledge and data workers. So one type of group is knowledge workers, other type of group is data workers. So in knowledge level, you will get 2 types of workers in an organization, that is knowledge workers and data workers. So why we have put another layer into this triangle? That is, all these levels are used in different information systems. In operational level, the operational level employees use a kind of information systems. In management level, they also use a particular kind of information systems. And in strategic level also, employees are using a particular kind of information systems. Then based on the nature and the scope of some organizations, there is a knowledge level as well. Okay, in some organization we get knowledge workers and data workers. Most of the time in majority of the organization we get these data workers, but in some of the organization we get knowledge workers as well. So these knowledge level employees, they are using a different kind of information systems. So they are not the information system which are used by the operational level, management or strategic level, but a separate information type of information system will be used by the knowledge level workers. So that is why we have put a new layer into this same management triangle. So this is according to the level of usage. So based on the managerial levels, we used different kinds of information systems. So the name that we have given to these systems are strategic level information systems, that is the information system which are used by the top management or strategic level managers. And management level, that is the information systems that we are used in the managerial level. And the third one is the knowledge level, that is the information system which are used in the knowledge level, and the operational level information systems are used by the operational managers in an organization. So that is based on the level of usage, right. Now we move to the according to the usage. Okay, this is the level of usage, this is the usage. So based on the usage, we have given some names, right. We have given some names. What are those names? So this is the detail or very user friendly diagram that you can remember easily what type of information system are used by each of these levels based on the usage. So we have given some names. So these names are very important for you to understand. First one is executive support systems. So executive support systems are used by the strategic level managers. In an organization, the top managers will use the executive support systems. And decision support systems are used by the middle level managers. Okay? And management information systems are used by the again middle level managers. Office automation systems are used by the data workers. In the knowledge level, data workers, they will use office automation systems. And in knowledge work systems are used by the knowledge workers in the knowledge level. Transaction processing systems are used by the operational level workers in an organization, right. And another type that is the business intelligence system. So I will tell you what is business intelligence systems after I go through all these information systems in later. Okay. So I will just move to the according to the usage. I have already told you that executive support systems are used by the strategic level managers. So in executive support systems, those systems will give information which are required by the top management for their long-term strategic decisions. So in organization, the top management, they always take decisions for the long term, and also their decisions we tell as, or we define them as unstructured decisions. Top managers, majority of the decisions that they are taking is unstructured, that is based on the environmental changes, based on the predictions and all the analysis that they insights also they get. They have to predict what we are going to do in the future. That may be 5 years time, 10 years time, right. So for this unstructured long term planning, they use these executive support systems to take their decisions. And in management level, they use two types of information systems. So in management level, if you can remember your management topic, in management level, those managers take decisions, semi-structured and structured decisions. Both semi-structured and structured decisions are taken by the management level employees or the managers, right. So for that, for the structured decision making purpose, they use management information systems. Okay, for the structured decision making purpose, the management level employees, they use management information systems. For the semi-structured decision making purpose, they use decision support systems. It is called decision support system, right. So for the management level, they use two types of information system based on their decision making capacity or activities. For the structured decision making purpose, they use management information systems. For the semi-structured decision making, they use decision support systems, right. With that, we will move to the knowledge level. Knowledge level, we have two types of workers. Even though they are also using two types of information, it does not mean only one group of employees will use these two types of decisions. But in knowledge level, the organization have two types of employees, knowledge workers and data workers. Knowledge workers, they use KWS, that is knowledge work systems. Okay? And office automation systems are used by the data workers. In operational level, the operational level employees, they use transaction processing systems. Okay, so if I give an example for the transaction processing systems, the payroll system, the general ledger, okay, and electronic point of sale which are in the cashier's place, inventory control management system, those are transaction processing system, that is for the elementary primary activities, transactions in an organization. In order to record them, we use transaction processing systems. And in knowledge work systems, the computer aided designing will be an example, and financial workstation which are used by the financial consultants, and computer aided designing will be used by the product designing employees of an organization, right. And office automation system in data workers, that is clerks or secretaries of an organization, they use office automation systems, okay, in order to schedule their work, in order to type a letter, in order to do a calculation and to run a database. Okay, they use, example is Microsoft MS Office. If you go to the management level, MIS, that is for the summary reports. Okay, for their structured decision making purpose, they use summary reports. So that will help, or the reports will be generated by the management information system. Decision making or semi-structured decisions, they will use decision support system, maybe to predict sales in the future, to predict the production in the future, and in order to predict the optimum solution and the minimum solution, they will use decision support system, which has highly sophisticated mathematical models will be used in decision support systems, right. So with that, we will move to the third categorization, that is according to the managerial functions. So in every organization, you will get different functions. So if I go to this picture again, with the managerial levels you can see, and you will see the functional areas of each of these managerial levels. So in an organization, we get different functional areas. So in different functional areas, I think you have already known about these different functional areas: sales and marketing, manufacturing, finance, accounting, human resource. So those are the functional areas or the departments that the organization is having, right. So in each of these functional areas also, the organization they use different kinds of information systems. This is very important for you to understand. That is, if you take sales and marketing, in sales and marketing, in operational level, they use a particular information system, And if they have a knowledge level in operational function, they use a different another kind of information system. And in management level, strategic level, in operation, in sales and marketing, they use different kind of information system. Likewise, each of these functions have separate information system based on the function and also based on the levels of the organization or the managerial levels of the organization. So, if I move to the managerial functions, based on the management functions, you can see in the operations management, there are many information systems you can see. Planning production process, planning and controlling material purchase. And in marketing management function, you will get implementing advertising campaigns or programs, introducing a new product to the market. And in financial management function, preparing cash budget reports, entering financial data into the accounts. And in human resource, you will get recruitment of employees, analyzing the job, payroll systems. And in research and development, planning new products and developing new products. So, based on the organization scope and the nature of the organization and their financial ability, they can select either only one information system or many information systems. So, that is totally depend on the organization's nature and the scope. Okay. So, but this is the optimum solution that you can get, that is the maximum number of information system that the organization can have. And business intelligence systems. What do you mean by business intelligence system? Now, you have seen that there is no such specific name that given or the managerial level that use this business intelligence system. So, what does this business intelligence system mean? Right. Actually, business intelligence system will be used by the top management. Okay, will be used by the top management, that is similar to the executive support system. Actually, this is an integration or it can be tell us that it is an extension of the existing executive support systems, right? We will look at what is the definition or what is the task or what are the tasks that this business intelligence system does. BI is a set of processes, architectures and technologies that convert raw data into meaningful information that drives profitable business actions. So, you can see here it is a set of processes, it is a set of architecture and technologies which converts data into meaningful information. So, it is just a system, but unlike in other system, there are some additional features of that. It is a suite of software and services to transform data into actionable intelligence. So, you know, intelligence is something the systems can do by their own, right? So, and knowledge, right. BI tools perform data analysis. So, it will perform data analysis as or other system also do, and create reports, summaries, dashboards, maps, graphs and charts to provide users with detailed intelligence. So, it not does just provide the information, it provides the intelligence, right, about the nature of the business. Now, you can see here, I have given a particular picture how this business intelligence systems works, right. You can see if you take a particular organization, there are several data sources, that is there are several systems that generates data. Okay, there are several systems that generates data. So, it can be either transaction processing systems, it can be either management information system, decision support system. So, all this data will be when the organization generates this data in several geographical regions and geographical places and even some other countries as well, right. Then these data, only the relevant data will go to a data warehouse. Warehouse is something we are telling like a store. Okay, warehouse is a store. Data warehouse is where you store your relevant data, right? Because since data are from different regions, different countries, different backgrounds and different sources, there are a huge number of data. We call it as big data. Actually, this business intelligence comes with the intention of analyzing the big data. Big data is that you are collecting large number of data, that is not in millions, maybe billions and trillions of data. Okay, so normal software, the normal software, they don't allow or they don't have facility to analyze this big data. So this business intelligence system, that is why it's called that they have a suite of softwares, that is specialized softwares are there in order to analyze this big data. So this big data, only the relevant data will be kept in a data warehouse, and through this business intelligence system, these warehouse data will be analyzed and will give information like reporting, analytics, data mining, data visualization. There are many forms of data. Now, normal graphs we see only the x and y axis, but here you can see the multiple dimension are there when you analyze this data. And you can see the 3D or 4D image of the data, and you can see the dashboard. Dashboard is in one one screen you can get lot of insights, right? So that is called digital dashboard. So all these data are relevant for the top management because it gives the not only the reports, not only the information they provide. This business intelligence provide the intelligence. Okay, they predict this will be happening in the future. So it is very easy for the top management to get their long-term decisions. So as I told you, business intelligence will be used by the top management of an organization to get their long-term decisions. Okay, so with that we will move to the next section, that is information technology. So what do you mean by information technology? So information technology is actually a combination of computing technology, communication technology, information management technology. Okay, information technology is a combination of not only computing technology. It doesn't mean, if you look at the information technology, it doesn't mean it is only computing technology, but it's a combination of computer science or the computing technology, communication and the information management as well. So all these three together will form information technology. Right, now we will see the benefits of the information technology. What are the benefits that an organization can get if they have an information system, or rather information technology? Speed. Actually nowadays the organization, they need the speed for their decision making. So with the information technology, they can get data quickly to their organization. So their decision making process will be they can enhance their decision making process. Accuracy. Their decisions are very accurate because they get reliable data in very speedy way. So their decision making will be an accurate one. Flexibility. They don't want to wait some time to get a decision because the information are available with them. So the flexibility, or even they can change their schedule, so that flexibility is there. Reliability, that is their decisions are very reliable because of the information technology. They can get accurate information, and they can get speedy information, they can get quickly information very quickly. So they have the reliability. The consumers also have the confidence over the data. Improved quality. The quality can be also improved because of this, all the features, the quality will be improved. Management of large quantity of information. As I told you earlier, because of the business intelligence, we can use or we can analyze large number of data within 1 second. Okay? Within very limited time period, we can analyze large number of data, that is we are calling data mining. Less employment. Because of the information technology, the employment will become less because you do not need to have higher number of employees in your organization. The machines will do the task. So you can reduce the number of employments, and also you can reduce the number of cost because of that less employment. And also you can reduce the space that you are having, you can reduce the offices that you are having, you can reduce the branches that you are having. Okay, normally now you can, if you look at these days, most of these digital businesses like Amazon, eBay, they don't have huge spaces like physical businesses. They operate in low spaces with low cost. And new job opportunities, even though we say we can reduce the number of employees, but there are new opportunities are emerging, new job opportunities are emerging because of this information technology. Software programmers, system designers, social media specialists, those are the new job opportunities that we could create with the information technology. Right, uses of internet into the communication, communicate the information. So this is a separate topic, the internet. So internet is also one of the specialized platform that we use in the information technology in businesses to communicate for their communication. A computer network is a connection of two or more computers. So what is internet? It is a computer network, just a computer network, and it has connected two or more computers for the fulfillment of functions like exchanging messages. I think you can remember the definition for the system. So the internet also a system that connect every components together. For what purpose? To exchanging of messages, exchange of data and information. We exchange messages, we exchange data, and we exchange information. So this internet is divided, actually this network has two types, local area network and wide area network. Local area network, if you connect in a small area, it is called local area. But if you are connected in wider area, in maybe 2 or 3 geographical locations, 2 or more geographical locations, we call that wide area. So internet is actually a wide area network. Internet is defined as a computer network that has been developed covering a wide range of area. So since it covers a lot of area, we call it as a wide area network. So these are the services provided by the internet. Because of the internet, we get World Wide Web, www. If you want to access any website, we go to the www, which is on the internet, and we access. Email. I think all of you know what is email. So email is one of the service provided by the internet. If you want to send a digital message, you can get an email account by a personal email account, or the businesses can get their organizational email account to exchange information between other parties. File transfer protocol. What do you mean by file transfer protocol? That is a protocol that is used in the internet in order to transfer one file to the other file from one device to the other device, mainly from a server machine to a client machine. We will use this file transfer protocol in order to direct transfer the files into one device to the other device. Chat-in facilities. Because of the internet, information technology or the internet, we get this chat-in facility. We can chat, we can communicate our ideas through text messages with other parties. Voice over IP, that is, we can deliver a voice message or the audio message through the internet. Now it has been very popular. You can see the social media likes WhatsApp, Viber, even Zoom. They use this voice over IP to deliver an audio message through the internet. News groups. In internet, we get lot of news groups. News groups are actually a group which have similar interest. Okay? Which has a similar interest, and they can exchange ideas. So for the popular topics, popular items, these news groups are formed in the internet. We also can join for the news groups and exchange our ideas based on the interest and hobbies that we are like. Right. Now we are moving to the benefits of businesses using internet. What are the benefits that the business can get by using internet? First one is for e-commerce affairs. Now you know in this digitalized world, most of the organization they use e-commerce. So the internet helps for these organizations to have their e-commerce sites. So there are many e-commerce businesses and e-commerce giants in the world. Even a small scale business, they can have their own e-commerce site and sell their products and services through the internet. So it is a very good advantage of the businesses in nowadays to have their businesses in digital mode, and they can get all the benefits that we discussed earlier by using this e-commerce website. Ability to advertise goods and services. If you want to advertise a goods and services, rather than go to the traditional modes like newspapers, television and radios, we can use the internet. By using internet, we can advertise our products and services. So it will be seen by all the consumers in the other countries as well, not only in your country or in your geographical area, it will be seen by the many consumers in outside your geographical area as well. Ability to obtain necessary information from one's competitors. If you have competitors, you can get many information by looking at their website, looking at their products through the internet. In earlier days, in traditional mode, it is very difficult for us to communicate or get the ideas with about our competitors. But with the internet, it is very easy to exchange or to get information of our competitors. Using it so as to minimize the communication cost. Actually, if you communicate through over the internet, it is a cost-effective way. Emails, messaging and social media you can use for the communication, or the businesses can use for the communication. By that they can reduce the cost, and also the speed will be increased, and also it has the flexibility and the interactivity. You can get the feedback immediately when you send some message to your respective parties or outside parties through digital mode. For expanding one's market all over the world. The businesses can expand their market rather than focusing on a specific geographical area. They can expand their businesses to the other markets, to other countries, other regions by just going to the e-commerce site. Okay? In traditional mode, if you want to go to the other countries to sell our products, we have to physically go there and physically establish the offices and factories. But here, we don't have to go physically there. We have to be, only thing we have to be in, we are in virtual mode, that the businesses are in virtual mode, but still you can go to the other geographical areas. For obtaining information easily and fast, we already discussed that we can get information easily and very quickly, and also interactivity is there. For conducting business affairs using social websites by businesses. Actually now organizations, they use social media to deliver their product and services. So for the operational activities, they use social media heavily, because of the less cost and convenient and the quickly service. For those reasons, the organization, they use social media to do their businesses now. So these are the advantages or benefits that you can get, or the businesses can get by using internet. With that, I am going to conclude this information system topic of the advanced level business studies subject. Thank you very much for listening to